All right, here we are on August 27th, getting ready to trade. So hopefully you can take some trades in the evening session. I don't have a whole lot of time tonight to trade, but I might try to squeeze some in with the casino account. And then during the daytime session, I have a full day tomorrow. So we'll see if I can get some trades in for that as well. If nothing else, maybe with the casino account, I can do something there middle of the day. But yeah, so here we are with the casino account you're looking at right now, 006. And at $50,362, 100% winning days, but I only got 2 days complete. Plenty of time for this to go the wrong way. I'm at 52% winning trades, but my average winning trade is bigger than my average losing trade, so I'm able to be profitable in this account so far. Then here we are in my 50K combine account. So up $540 in it so far, 50,540. So that's looking pretty good. 3 days complete, 100% winning days. Again, that's really nothing yet. When it's like 50 days like that, then it's impressive. 100% winning trades. Again, took that many trades. We'll see once that aggregate gets bigger where we end up actually landing there. No losing trades. $135 average winning trade. So that's where we're at with the 50K combine. So far, it's going the right direction. Slow growing it now. And now I'll probably pass it, get into the XFA, and it'll be off to the races again. That was the trend. The first time around, I tried to do it fast, and I couldn't. It took me 3 months. Then I did it slow, and I did finish in a week. So clearly, slow and correct is the right way. Okay, here we are in the live account. So with my live account right now, I'm looking at $4,746. So slowly growing this thing in rehab, back up to 80% winning days with 59 days complete. So that's really good metrics right there. And then, but not good is the 65. Well, let's look at E-mini Dow. 66% winning with $200 average winning, $324 average losing. Not good. Still working on that. That's going to take a while, especially when I go into rehab, because then I'm just winning like $100, $50. And, when I have a losing trade of a $1,500 in there, it's going to take forever for this average to work out until I get back out of rehab, scale up, and then start winning like $1,000 trades. Then this average will start to fix itself. All right, so what is the big news? The big news, some of you may have already heard. I just discovered it. So I'm going to share it with you. Topstep had some big news that came out this week, and I kind of see why they're doing it. Let me show you. All right, right here in this box, right here. Beginning Sunday, August 25th at market open, any new or reset Topstep X accounts will be created without the daily loss limit. So this is only if you have a Topstep X account, which means you're trading on their platform. If you're trading on NinjaTrader or something else, this does not apply. You still have the daily loss limits. But on Topstep X, your account will not have a daily loss limit. But from what I understand, on Topstep X, you can create your own daily loss limit. If I'm on NinjaTrader, which I am, or another platform, I could always reach out to Topstep and say, hey, I want a different daily loss limit. If I'm like right now with the 50K combines, or even a 50K XFA, the daily loss limit's $1,000. I can reach out right now and say, hey, can we move this to $500? And they'll do it right away. If I say, can I move it to 2,000? They'll say we need to review your trade profile, and then maybe. But if you're with Topstep X, you don't have that anymore. But this only applies to XFAs and combines, not live accounts. Live accounts, you still have your daily loss limit because you got to protect the capital. That's actual capital, and you can't just let that account go down forever, right? You lose $100,000 that day when you only had 20 grand in your account. Expensive for them. So not in a live account. And in the live accounts, they require you to use stops also. So you're not supposed to just use your DLL, I don't think, although a lot of people do that. But in each trade, you're supposed to use stops in the live account. So big news from Topstep is if you get their platform, Topstep X, no daily loss limit. And the reason why I believe they're doing that is it's just one more tool or one more opportunity to drive people to their Topstep X trading platform. And it's got some cool features over there. Like you have different accounts. You can label those accounts so it's really obvious. Right now, 006 is my casino account, but it would be nice if I could just label that as casino account. In NinjaTrader, you can label accounts, but you can't do it through Rhythmic when you're trading through Rhythmic. So I can't change my the name of my Topstep accounts. I cannot change those in NinjaTrader. But if I'm just trading with NinjaTrader and I have different accounts, I can do that with them. Or if I have different simulated accounts, I can change the name of those as well. But unfortunately, I can't change my actual accounts trading with Topstep. Also in Topstep X, you have the tilt indicator, which is pretty cool. That's not new, that's old, but that's on there too, which basically lets you see what the majority of the traders are doing. The majority of traders are long right now in the NQ. Majority of traders, how many? 80% are long, 50% are long, or whatever it might be. And you can kind of see where the herd is going. And is the herd correct most of the time, or is the herd wrong most of the time? That might help influence some of your decisions. So Topstep X has some unique features. Also, traders can, vote on different features, and then if it gets enough votes or if enough desire, then they can look into creating that thing that everybody is interested in. So anyway, that's the big news on Topstep right now, is no daily loss limits if you get their Topstep X trading platform. All right, see you on tonight's trades. Okay, so good evening. It's the night of the 26th. Getting ready to jump into a trade here on the MNQ with my casino account. Looking to get into the long side as this wedge is breaking out. And then if it wants to come back down, I'll switch it to the short side. Just one contract. Don't have a lot of time to trade tonight, so I'm basically just trading for some lunch money here. Let me look at this size real quick here. So roughly... So I'm looking at, so that would be $1,000 risk per contract if I was in the NQ. So I'm going to get one contract of the MNQ to better fit my risk of around $100 for this trade. In the casino account, don't want to risk thousands of dollars in this account. I need it to last. Although it's struggling right now to get above this plateau right here. So I'm going to go right click, buy, stop market.
Order submitted.
Let's see if it can come back up, or is it going to come down here, close, and go the other direction? I'm going to wait for this candle to close. All right, I'll jump in.
Order submitted.
Okay, in the trade to the long side, MNQ, one contract, and I'm going to speed bump it. So let's
order submitted.
Move that up to 2, so I can get in with. I'll get out with my one contract, and I'll buy 2 more. I'll go short 2 contracts on this if this is a failed trade. May not get all the way to that target. Might find itself. All right, so it might end up just barely eking out new highs, but I would say right in this pocket is where I'm looking for this trade to go. Okay, so back with that trade, it's just not going anywhere, and it's time for me to call it a night. So I'm going to go ahead and take this
order canceled.
The speed bump off. I'm going to move this up to break even plus a couple bucks. So I move my stop up. If it wants to back up and get me out, that's fine. It may be forming an M pattern anyway and breaking down, but I'm going to call it a night and put this here. And then we'll wake up in the morning and see if we ended up in the target or if I ended up out break even plus a couple bucks. I'll bring that conclusion to you. All right, so here during the daytime session, get ready to jump into the MNQ long. Right now with one contract, 30, 96. Actually, I think I'm going to do it in the regular NQ because my stop is small. NQ, let's go NQ. I can afford the risk on the NQ. I'm going to jump in with one contract in my casino account. Buying long right now, looking for a breakout of this, or basically a continuation of the upside, but a more violent one. We do have a little bit of a wedge kind of pattern showing up here. Right here across the top. Here, let's see if I can put a line in. In my casino account, because I don't have a proven statistical probability. So if I just went off the bodies of these candles, where it's had like the most activity, this is what we get. Something in here. How do you trade this, right? But it does look like there's a bit of an uptrend. When you just draw like lines on the chart, how do you trade this? If I move this down somewhere in here, it could be breaking back to the top side of what was once support that broke eventually, kind of became resistance, and now it's getting back on top of that support. So an entry somewhere right closer to this line, maybe even right here would be the right entry. Let me get long right now. Let's go buy one contract. I'll tell you why in just a second.
Order filled.
Okay, so long in this contract, or long in this trade with the NQ. My stop. Oh, I didn't put a speed bump in. All right. Stop is going to be here. If it wants to make an M pattern, let me make this bigger. Just a small scalp on this trade here. If it wants to make an M pattern and break down, right here, kind of a sloppy M pattern, but it could come down here and break to the downside, then I want to be out of the trade. Same time, we're making some higher highs and higher lows right here. You can see the higher highs, and you can clearly see some higher lows, except this one anomaly right here. So right now we just came back down. Is this going to be forming up the low for a higher high? Looks like it could be doing that. But if it's not and it wants to break, then it's going to break for the lows. I'll just reverse my trade and look for a target down here and make that money. But not looking to make a lot on this. It's I'm going to look to capture. There's 1 minute candles right now. Waiting for this green candle to start closing so I can capture some candle moves here.
Stop filled.
Okay, so just took that $77 off of there. I'm going to get out, take my 77 bucks and wait for a more clear setup. This looks like it could be looking to make some higher highs, although this is a pretty big candle right here forming inside of this mix. I was looking for a little more consolidation or even drift down a little first, but here we are. So let's see what it ends up doing. I'll look for another trade setup that lets me get back in, but it felt positive to be in the long direction here. Looking for a higher high right there. You can see getting ready to make it right there. Should have went for the ride, right? Higher high. Bang. So now what happens? I have no idea. I'll wait and see. Could wait for another run back to the bottom of this and see if it wants to make another higher high. But I think I'm going to wait for it to roll over and start making lower lows if it even does that today. When I look at the other time frames, yeah, it would have been nice to be in that a little longer. Look at the other time frames, 5 minutes. You can see there's an uptrend here. There's still an uptrend, and now it's starting to break out above here, so it could be making a run for the top of this. Man, a couple seconds longer would have been sweet. Looking at the 30-minute here. It was trying to make its way up, had that big sell-off back to a support area, and now it looks like it may be making another run to make a higher high here. But could be right in here. Could start seeing some resistance showing up based on the 30-minute candle. Wouldn't say it looks really strong, but I mean it was kind of strong through here, and then it was support here. We broke down below, and now we're coming back up into that area, and it's showing to be somewhat a resistance zone. So we'll see if it wants to continue that or hold. If it wants to get through this resistance zone and break into this area here, could look for a next spot up here. It might be worth a scalp. So I'll probably wait, see if I can get a breakout above that resistance zone, and then kind of see what the price action looks like. And I may jump back in for another scalp, but we'll have to look and see. Here's a 1 minute chart again, breaking out for that new highs. All right, either way, $77 in the casino account. Got my fix. I'm just looking at these charts, and I'm like, man, this just looks really hard to trade. How do I trade this right now? I want to be in a trade, though. So casino account, turn that in. Get in the trade, made 77 bucks, got my fix, and I can wait for a better setup so I can use that in my regular NQ 50K or in my live account. All right, we'll see what happens. Okay, so things are moving fast. I went to make lunch, came back, the retrace already took place, and now it's already breaking out. But we're still kind of close to the breakout zone, so I could potentially get back in this trade with my casino account. One contract, looks pretty good right there. Let's take a better look. But see, sometimes it helps to zoom out from your chart, because if I'm just looking at this, I'm like, oh, it's breaking out again. Let me jump in long. But look at this. This is going to be a strong resistance area right here. Maybe I don't want to jump in long. So even though it's my casino account and I'm like, yes, I should get in, I should wait until there's a strong pattern that shows up, like a W that breaks out, cup and handle that goes, a better flag pattern, or it breaks out of this and then comes back down to retest it, and then I can jump in to the long side with a lower risk. If anything, this might be a short play right here. You know, so sometimes when you zoom out, it helps. And go look at the 5-minute candle and looking at different time frames. The thing I got to keep reminding myself is don't look at this trying to find a reason to get in long. Right, I'm talking long, I'm talking bullish right now. I'm looking for a breakout, feeling like that's the direction I want to jump into it. And then I start looking at different time frames. I can't look at these time frames with the idea of trying to convince myself that it's okay to get in. I have to look at them with an open mind and say, is there anything obvious here? And there's not really, other than once it gets past this, especially if it retests it, could have a nice upside move. You know, even to like right in here or even all the way up here. Could be going the right direction. I feel positive about a long direction here based on this activity. This sell-off right here basically shake the tree big time. And now it's breaking out to the upside. I like that. I like to see that. I like to see consolidation. I like to see the breakdown and then go the other direction. But right now, I just don't know for sure. And I'm not going to force the trade. Nothing obvious. That's the 5-minute time frame. So let's go to the 30-minute. Anything obvious here? Kind of. I'm feeling to the long direction, right? So it's hard for me not to focus in on this. It's coming up. It's starting to break out. Looks like it's about to go higher than that right there. Everything's like, yes, jump in. Hurry up. You're going to miss the move. What are you waiting for? The longer I wait to get in, the bigger my risk. I can get in right now and have a smaller risk because my stop would be right here. But there's more to this story. And with an open mind, it's a little easier to see, right? Could that be a downtrend actually we're looking at? And we're close to that trend line, which means maybe there is a move right here. Jump in, trade it to the trend line, and then look for an exit and wait for a break and confirmation. Or wait for it to get to the trend line, look for a short to develop, take it to the short side with smaller risk, especially if it, you know, this trend line where we're at right now is kind of coinciding with the bottom of this stuff here. So this could be the area. So there's something there. So maybe I shouldn't be getting long. Maybe this is actually looking like a downtrend. Let's go look at the 1 hour. You know, the 1 hour looks very clear, like it's just a downtrend. And maybe making a move back to this trend line. But a move back to the trend line is a big move. 687 with a potential of, 50 points if it gets there quick. And with a potential of 5 or 6 points if it doesn't. But either way, that's profit. So maybe there is a long trade there just for that move to the trend line. That's what I'm looking at. Even though we are getting right through here. Let's move this black line up. That's where we're at right now, right? So break out of this, came back with support, came back, broke that support. So I wouldn't say it's strong support, but back here there was some activity around this number. And now we're getting into that number again. Does that become something that's rejecting? Or does it want to wait till it gets up into one of these areas? Reject. If it waits till here, then we're breaking that trend line. Then does it reject and move higher? Lots of questions. When you start thinking about all the different ways to analyze a chart, they can all start conflicting each other. So it kind of makes it hard. So I try to just look at it and say, is there an obvious picture here? Yes. Things are going down. Short-term uptrend, getting ready to run into a much higher time frame downtrend. All right. So how do I trade that? Well, it's not run into it yet. So I could get into this to the long side because right now we're in the short-term uptrend until there's reason for it to go down, which would be the long-term downtrend. So maybe this is a long trade. There's support right here that could be resistance. It hasn't broken above this red candle yet. So maybe there's something there. And then I look at the time frame down here where the new 1 hour and 30-minute candle is about to close. We're looking at the 1 hour right now. Candles like to retrace. Do I want to get into this right now when it's going to close in 2 minutes and potentially have a retrace? Nope. Don't want to do that, especially when we're running into a resistance area and we haven't breached the top of this candle. Might have a retrace. So maybe a short play right here with my stop just above here is a better play. So 86, 45. So I'd want to do that in the MNQ so I can hold that trade. Let's go look at the 30-minute. So getting stuck here. Retrace, very probable. Long-term downtrend, getting close to it. Stop above. All right, so maybe what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go, I'll leave the 1 hour candle on. I'm going to go to the MNQ because I would get stopped out for max daily loss if I try to trade this right now. MNQ. Give it some room. That's a 1-to-1 right there, retrace of the 1 hour candle. Very likely. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump in short with one contract.
Order filled.
Okay, short with one contract. Looking for a retrace of this 1 hour candle here. All right, retrace is starting to happen. A lot of times these candles like to retrace half to all, and I can go back in time and kind of see what it likes to do. You can just look at all these candles retraced and see that track record. But sometimes they don't. I mean, look at this candle right here, green candle. It retraced. It did almost half before boosting higher. But sometimes they just go. Like this candle to the downside, right? These all are retracing, and then this one showed up and it just left. But now it's retracing. Now you got more than half retrace of that candle. So retrace of moves is pretty common. All right, I'm going to hit this on a 1 hour candle, so this could be a while. I'm going to hit pause in the video, and then I'll bring the conclusion to you. Okay, so we're getting to the halfway mark of this candle right here. Should have probably looked to pull my trade off the table right there. Let's see if it wants to come back down again so I can trail it. So I could just bring this down here and just take it halfway. Or what I could do is take a black line, horizontal line, mark roughly halfway, and then go over to the 1 minute candle and see if there's anything there. Oh, look at that. Support area potentially. Could have just been bouncing off a support area right there. So had I come over here just a few minutes earlier, when I saw that, I could have took my trade off the table there, and I could always get back in if I want to. So I do want to start protecting my profits now that this hit that support area. This trade could be over. This could be on its way back up. 86. It already retraced almost halfway. So let me look at, I'll put that there for now, and then let's see if I can capture this halfway marker. All right, if that wants to go green, I'll just get out.
Stop filled.
Okay, I'll just pop out of that. I missed the opportunity potentially to capture that halfway marker. 1 minute candle showed me a potential support area. This bump could have taken place. Now it could be looking for a new high. I'm out of the trade. Let's go back and look at 30-minute. Full retrace of the candle before it, and actually it looks like it could be going below that candle. So if it wants to close below, it might be on its way to start rolling. Could be an M pattern forming. Is the market trying to draw a picture is what I keep asking myself. So out of the trade, all good. Just now I went through that whole thing with you. I'm not trying to teach you how to trade. That may have worked just now, and it might never work again. It might, if you're not watching every one of my videos, every time I have this thought process, I might have losing trades like every time, and you happen to watch the video that was a winner. Now you're going to try to do something like that and lose all your money. So I'm not trying to do that here. I'm not trying to teach you how to trade here. I'm just giving you my thought process out loud so you can kind of hear what I'm thinking and what's going through my brain. I'm just thinking out loud as I'm going through the trade to see what it is I want to do. I started this trade off wanting to be long. I wanted to be long the trade. And then I looked at those other time frames with an open mind and said, you know what, it's better if I'm short because the 1 hour candle is closing. I can see what's happening. It's a bigger down. All the stuff I talked about. I'm like, okay, maybe I should be short right now. It's probably not the right time to be long, mostly because of that 1 hour candle that was closing and I thought would retrace based on the past candles. So I just wanted you to hear that thought process. And when I'm trading without a lot of size on, like this was, $100, not even $100, like $25, $30 risk. It made it really easy for me to just be an open mind, not look for confirmation bias or subjective viewpoints, trying to justify what I want the market to do. Had I had a lot, if I was trading this right now for like $1,000 and my daily loss limit's $1,000, probably be a whole different story with that kind of pressure. So like right here, I got out, and if I was trading because I needed the money, I was trading for money, I would stay in. I'd be like, no, I got to stay in. I got to get it down here. It might not be going down there. It might, but it might not. I don't know. It made the move I expected, but sometimes when we have too much size, we make bad decisions because of that. So yeah, anyway, hopefully you all learned something from this video. Not how to trade, but just thought process and the psychology and what I'm going through, and maybe that sparks thought for you to analyze yourself and think about what you're doing. All right, everybody. See you all next trade. Okay, back with that MNQ. I got in short because I put an order in for a break of this M pattern right here. And it tagged that, got me in short. So now I'm short. These black lines are that 60-minute candle. This was the halfway marker. Clearly made it halfway. And this is the bottom of that 60-minute candle. Scroll back here. I don't know if it's going to get to the bottom of that candle because it looks like we could have a lot of support right here at the very bottom of this candle here and right straight across here. So if I were to, let me put a different line. This like pink line right here. You can see there's a lot of support in this area. So maybe it comes back down to this. But once it fully retraces that 60-minute candle, if it can't close below that, it might be on its way back up. So that's why I want to know where that is. But either way, short with one contract. Looking for it to come down at least to this pink line. And then potentially down here. If it wants to spike into this, that's where I got my target right now. And then, yeah, we'll have to wait and see here. All right, if it takes a look red again, then I'll drop my stop here. Or we can get tagged out here. That's fine. I'll wait for the next trade to set up. Okay, looks like. All right, so take that trade. Take a tiny loss on it. Rather have a tiny loss than a big loss. I'll just wait for the next trade. See? Look at that. Look at that. Didn't do what I expected it to do, which was it broke this M pattern to start sliding right away, and it started to do this consolidation, so I'm out. Still see a downtrend here, though, so I could jump back in for a short closer to risk, like right here, and put my stop right here. So as a potential run to the purple line, get to the bottom. Yeah, why not, right? Trend is your friend. Let's see if it wants to come up a little bit more.
Order filled.
Okay, jump back in, short. Close to the top of this trend line. Not going to be greedy. I'll get out here in just a little bit. Little scalp. There we go.
Stop filled.
All right, so out of that trade. Had that full, nice half retracement there. Bouncing off the trend line. Could be moving back to the bottom. But we do have this consolidation here. So I'm just going to get out. Up in the account now, $99 for the day. I want that 4 pennies. I don't want to be $99. I want to be 100. But I'll take it for now. We'll see if another trade sets up, and then maybe I'll take one more trade. All right, so I put an order to get long if it wants to break 665. And the reason why is to go back to 30-minute. Is we're on a red 30-minute candle right now. So if this went red, gets rejected, and wants to start going green again, is it retracing half this candle or all of it? Well, I'm going to take a piece of it if it wants to do that in this candle. But in the next 20 minutes, if it hasn't done that, then I'm pulling this trade off the table. Okay, just got filled on that retrace right there. All right, so now I'm going to use this purple line. All right, I'm going to go back to the 1-minute candle. See if I can trail some candles. Look at that nice move right there. I put my stop at that purple line. That's where the 30-minute candle goes red.
Stop filled.
Okay, so stopped out of that trade. All right, so whoa, look at that. Let's get short. Sell.
Order filled.
Let's get short with that kind of spike to the downside, breaking all this. Breaking back of that M pattern, looking for a run back down here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. Got 10 minutes left here. I'm thinking about adding to another contract here. Let's go one more.
Order
Sell.
filled.
Now we got 2 contracts in. It's getting some energy to potentially go down. It did spike right into the support area though, so that's a little scary. All right, so I was on a call, so I couldn't talk about the exit of that trade. But nice little move to the downside. Got into this support area we talked about earlier. So I moved my stop once it got through there, just in case it did what it's doing right now. But you saw how much support was here. So open it up a little bit. 1 minute candle still. How much support was here for all this? Does this become resistance? And then does it try to come back down, maybe draw a W pattern before getting back through the top? Or does it break down? So I'm going to shut it down, put this video together so I can get it up and post it for y'all to see it, and call it a day. So $101.20 on the day in my casino combine. And it's my casino combine because I'm just guessing, having fun with my trades, trying something new, letting you see what's in my head. Don't copy me because you'll probably lose all of your money. All right, everybody. See you on the next trade.